Hello and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking you through a recent project that I worked on in collaboration with all of the folks at Lucky Frog Studio. Those of you who regularly watch my videos or follow me online will know that I work from a shared studio space in Brighton called Lucky Frog Studio. But Lucky Frog Studio isn't just a shared studio space, it's also a collaborative project where we all band together and put on projects that wouldn't necessarily make sense to organise if we were doing them on our own. In the past, we've organised a couple of exhibitions, a talks night, worked on a few commissions and done a window display for the lovely folks at Neighbourhood Store in Shoreham. This year, Lucky Frog Studio is taking a bit of a backseat. Myself and Lizzie have just had a baby, and everyone else is doing some serious adulting, like buying houses and other stuff. Because of this, we haven't penciled in any events for this year, apart from Artist Open House. As part of our contract with our building where we have our studio, we have to take part in Artist Open House. And this felt like a good opportunity to dust off my screen printing equipment and put together a cheeky little print project. I've talked a lot about Artist Open House in the past on this YouTube channel, but if you're new here, Artist Open House is an event that happens in Brighton throughout the month of May, where artists open their studio spaces to the public. It's a great opportunity to share work, meet people, and net some sweet, sweet sales. Now, the building that we are in has 120 artists in it, and during the weekend of Artist Open House, we see at least 3,000 people pass through the studio. With this in mind, I started to think about ways in which our studio could stand out, and I came up with the idea of creating a fun little leaflet that people can take home with them. That way they have something tangible to remind them of our studio. But I don't want to design something that is just going to be put in the bin. Last year I talked about the need and desire to want to make work that was too beautiful to be discarded. I've got a whole video about this, you should definitely check it out. With the rise of AI, I've been spending a lot of my time looking at the arts and crafts movement. The arts and crafts movement emerged in opposition to the Industrial Revolution. It embraced tradition and rejected modernity. William Morris has this really lovely saying: "Have nothing in your house that you do not know to be useful or believe to be beautiful." And I feel that that quote really resonates with my print practice. For the leaflet design, I've been thinking about how to make something that is playful and fun and memorable, and I think I've figured something out. Let's get designing. I started out by drawing a long frog on a piece of paper. This frog is loosely inspired by a frog Lizzie Lomax drew for a previous event that we put on. I then filled in the eyes, trimmed the excess paper, and scored and folded the paper. Unfolding the paper displays the studio name and elongates the tongue of the frog. Now the design is all sketched out, it's time to scan it in and start cleaning it up. I chose to use 3 colours for the leaflet: green, fluoro pink, and black. I'm cleaning this artwork up using Photoshop. Once the design was finished, I then sent it to the printers. Then it was just a case of waiting a few days for the acetates arrive before going printing. Due to me getting ill earlier in the week, I only had a day to print these leaflets. I started off by printing all the typography on the back of the design. The reason I decided to print all the type first was because the studio gets super hot during the spring and summer months, and I thought I'd have a ton of problems with printing the letters if I left the printing until later in the day when it was slightly warmer. Once I'd printed all of the type, I then started to print the side of the leaflet with the frog on, and this is where I ran into a few issues. I was pretty greedy and I tried to get 3 leaflets on a piece of A4 paper, with the paper only being 140 GSM and there being such a huge amount of ink being printed on the surface of the paper. This caused the paper to stick to the screen, which meant I had to muddle through the printing of this layer. I just want to give a huge shout out to my printing buddy Patrick Edgley, who dropped everything he was working on and gave me a hand. Without him, I don't think I would have been able to print this layer. The rest of the layers printed absolutely fine, and by the end of the day, I had printed 300 leaflets for the event. Here is the finished leaflet. The following day, myself and all of the other artists in the studio turned up at the studio space and gave it a clean. We also trimmed and folded all of the leaflets, and by the end of the weekend, we had given out all of them. I've been feeling pretty down and quite deflated recently, and this project was such a lovely project to work on. It was so nice to see members of the public interacting with a piece of print that I had designed and printed with my own hands. Artist Open House and events like Artist Open House keep me inspired and make me feel hopeful about the arts. That was a video. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to like and subscribe. I would really appreciate the support. I was hoping to get this video out before Artists Open House so some of you guys could come down and grab one of these leaflets. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case as I spent too much time on the previous video. You guys are going to have to forgive me for that. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye!